how are you hoping to position Binance coming out of this? So, I mean, bear markets, if you can last, if you can sustain through them, this goes for a retail holder, bankless listener. If you sustain yourself through the bear market, you come out stronger on the other side. It also goes, the same principle applies to crypto companies, and Binance is no exception, of course. So you guys have an opportunity actually to get stronger during the bear market and to come back the next cycle even stronger. In what ways would you like to position yourself during the bear market to come out stronger? What competencies are you developing? What key areas are you planning to invest in?
Sure. I mean, there's two aspects, right? So for industry players like ourselves, now is actually the best time to hire talent. So there's much more talent available in the pool now. And also, you don't have we have less other companies competing for the same talent with ridiculous salaries, compensation, etc. That didn't make sense. I mean, a year ago, if like a university grad out of college, if they knew Solidity programming, they can get an offer for $500,000 a year. I mean, I think that's kind of, that's a bit overboard, to be honest. So now we're seeing much more reasonable situations in the industry. We're looking at investing more. In bear markets, there will be more consolidation. And the guys who have cash and the guys who are left standing, who have very strong business models and strong product will benefit. We actually there will be more consolidation, which means basically more market share, more users. The total number of users may stay the same or even drop a little bit because some bear market push some of the people out, but the market share increases and the positions, the influence increases. When the next bull market comes, we're in a very good position to take advantage of that. And then the investments, M&As are all tied to that. For retail investors, the first thing, of course, is to survive. So make sure that you have enough money that your lifestyle is not impacted. The second thing, if you have extra money, now is actually not a bad time. Well, different people use different strategies. I don't want to recommend any specific strategy, but some people like, micro seller, El Salvador, they're buying now so that the average cost actually comes down. And if they can last for a few through this bear market, on the next bull market, they'll have more holdings. So now it's actually a very cheap time to buy. If we're in a bear market. I want to be careful giving financial advices, not giving financial advices. So, but for retail investors, it's the same. Like, focus on, my advice is always the same. Focus on a small number of projects that you know well. And if you know that the project is going to survive, and you can tolerate the risk, by all means. But understand that tomorrow the market may go down even further. It may go up, it may go down. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But longer term horizon, the industry is staying. The industry is not going away. There's more apps being developed. There's more people in the industry. So the industry is going to get bigger if we look at 5, 10, 20-year horizons.
TZ, you put out a tweet talking about how many positions that you're hiring at Binance. I want to actually go into that a little bit, but first, before we do, a little bit more on the bear market, because like I said in the intro again, like you've been through bear markets before, Binance has been through bear markets before. This is nothing new under the sun. A lot of us have been through bear markets before. And historically in the crypto space, bear markets last about 2.5 years. We have this like 2-year bull run, we have this 2-year bear market, and this thing just perpetuates. However, this time it does feel a little bit different. We have like this macro story of just like there's war in Europe. We have unprecedented inflation in the United States. Like we're super indebted. The global reserve currency is super indebted. And so there's a lot of murmurings about like this time it might be different. So I'm wondering, how have you positioned Binance and Binance's cash position and your investments with this like uncertainty as to how long this bear market really lasts? Like, do you have an opinion about how long this bear market is going to be?
I don't really have no opinion. It's very hard to predict the future, but historically we've seen very accurate 4-year cycles. Mm-hmm. But there's also many things in the world that are 4 years. The Bitcoin halving is every 4 years. The United President's election is every 4 years. The stock market goes through a 4-year cycle as well, if you look at it historically. So it doesn't mean that the next cycle will be exactly 4 years, but I think there's a pretty decent probability that that might happen. But if we look at all the other different things that you just mentioned, that you said are different, the inflation, the war, everything else, those things should really help the crypto industry. Those things should really push people to want, the inflation should push people to want to hold a limited supply asset. So the war and the more the world is divided, the more that the Bitcoin is a very global currency that actually shines. So the more those issues happen, the more people should need, well, the advantages of crypto blockchain is actually more clear. So yeah, to be honest, to be very frank, I was kind of surprised that Bitcoin only made an all-time high at 68,000. I thought it was going to go much higher, but again, I was wrong. So I'm never good at predictions. But all of those things, in theory, should help crypto. But the fact that right now we're going through a winter is kind of surprising to me. But again, no one can predict markets. I can't. But logics do work in the long run. So that's my experience.
What if, CZ, it takes a long time for crypto to repair, right? So like, as you said, we're used to these like 4-year cycles. And so I put out a tweet the other day and I just asked people, what do you guys think? How much longer will the bear market go? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5+ years, right? 80% of crypto Twitter people said 2 years or less. That's what everyone's expecting. But as David was saying, this might not be the case this time. What if we're in for, and I'm optimistic that it is, of course, you know, this is bankless, we're perma bulls, we're never gonna be bearish on this space. But what if it lasts a bit longer? What if we're talking about like 4 years, 5 years, and we're still not back to Bitcoin and ETH all-time highs? What happens to the industry? Does it wither away and die, or are we gonna be okay?
I think we're going to be totally okay. There are a group of people, there are a very large group of people that I know that is not going away. So there are some, new investors that gets shocked, surprised, fear, and they go away for a while. But pretty much of all the people I know who are here since 2017, those guys is going to stay. And as a business, I would recommend most businesses have at least 10 years of runway, 10 years of cash if they have zero income. Very few traditional companies can achieve that. But in the blockchain world, it's actually not that hard to achieve. Binance, we had like the Binance coin is about $40 billion market cap. We have the team portion we never used, and we do commit to burn that. But we also have income. Like even the team portion was double-digit $1 billion. So most crypto companies sit on this. If they manage well, they could be sitting on this really large cash reserve. So and even if we don't touch that, we actually still, that aside, we actually still have very healthy reserves that will last us many years. So they are, and also in the crypto business, there are very clear, very simple business models. You should have revenue, and because we're dealing with crypto money, we're dealing with this industry. It's actually not difficult for good businesses to make money. So I think just sustainability-wise, many businesses in this industry can sustain for a very, very long time. So I'm not too worried about it.